Hey everyone, in this tutorial we are going to learn how to model this building. Now you can support the channel and download all the source files from the Patreon page. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. So without further ado, let's start. So I will start by going to the perspective view, so double click to maximize the perspective view, and I'm going to layers and I'm going to create a new layer and let's name it design, and let's add one sublayer and a few more sublayers in it. I'm going to name the first one mass, so type mass and double click to select it. And for our mass, I'm going to use 3-point box. So our mass is going to be a simple 3-point box. The length is going to be 35 and the width is going to be, you know what? Right click to bring the command again. The length is going to be 36, maybe 40. Let's make the length 40 and the width 30. And the height is going to be, the floor to floor height is going to be 3.5 meter and it's going to be 3 floors. So 3.5 by 3 is 10.5. So this is going to be our mass. I think I'm going to reduce the length a little bit. So I'm going to use a scale in one direction and let's reduce the width a little bit. Let's make it maybe 40 by 20. Yeah, something like this. So this is our mass. Now I'm going to name this layer CRV for curves and I'm going to give it a red color. Let's create a new layer and let's name it floors. So I'm going to select the curve layer, select the mass and let's use contour. Type contour, or you can find it here, which is this one. Let's create a contour in the Z direction and the spacing is going to be 3.5. So type 3.5 then enter. So we have the curve, this curve. So I'm going to select the floor layer. Let's give it maybe a dark gray color. And I'm going to extrude these curves by a value of 0.4. So these are slabs. So now we have our mass and our slab. Now I'm going to create a new layer and let's name it facade design. And for our facade, I'm going to add sublayer and a few more sublayers. Okay, so I'm going to rename the first layer here CRV for curves also. And I'm going to give this one maybe a blue color. And we are going to have two types of facades, perforated skin and curtain walls. So, and some solid walls. So I'm going to name maybe the first one solid wall. And let's name this one perforated skin. And for this one, I'm going to add maybe two sublayers. The first one is going to be structure or be substructure. And second one, let's name it skin. And I'm going to create a new layer and let's name it curtain wall. And I'm going to add to it two sublayers. The first one is going to be glass. And the second one is going to be mullions. So for the glass, let's give it maybe a cyan color. And for the mullions, let's give it some kind of gray color. For the perforated skin, for the substructure, I'm going to give it maybe a light gray color. And the skin, let's keep it as it is. As this solid wall, let's give it light gray color. So these are going to be our layers. Okay, so let's start creating the perforated skin. So for the perforated skin, I'm going to select the curves layer and I'm going to select one of these curves and let's create an offset. So the perforated skin is going to be placed in an offset of maybe 1 meter from the main building. So type 1 and press enter. Now I'm going to explode this curve and let's select this one and let's go to the visibility and isolate. So we have only this curve visible. I mean, we can only select this curve. And I'm going to draw, let's close the project and let's draw a vertical line in here. Press tab to fix the movement in this direction and draw it like this. So right click. Now let's type curve array, or array curve. Or you can find it here, which is this one. So select the object, which is a curve, right click and select the path. So the distance is going to be maybe 1 meter for our module. You know what, maybe 1.5. Okay, yeah, let's start with 1.5. So right click. Now I'm going to type split. Select this curve to split, right click, select this one, and this one. So we have this one like this. I'm going to rebuild this curve to add a point at the center. So set the degree to 1 and the number of point to 3. Press OK. So we have this point at the center. Let's move it to the outside with a value of maybe 0.5 meter. select it, get a copy, type vertical, and let's create a copy here maybe. Select this one. Let's draw a reference line here. Right click to finish the command. Select these curves and choose a scale from the midpoint to here. The value right now is, you can find the value here. The value right now is 0.75. We can type the new value for this part, and it's going to be maybe 0.4. Delete this one. Or maybe even smaller. Maybe 0.3. Scale it again. Set type 0.3. No, scale 3D, not 2D. Not in one direction. And type 0.3. Now let's come here to the skin, select the skin layer, and I'm going to type loft. Get the loft from here to here. So we have like one of our surfaces. I think I'm going to select this one and type mirror. Get a 3-point mirror from here to here. Have something like this. Get mirror again, 3-point from here, here. Then I'm going to select this one, create a copy. Let's place it something maybe here. Select this two, type move, vertical, and move it something like this. Select it again and move it here, some to have something. Yeah, I think this is what I really want. Select it again, type mirror, 3-point from here to here. I'm going to select this and I'm going to explode it, delete this one. Select this, type mirror, get a mirror here. Now we can select all of these and let's create a block. Let's come here, define block, this, and let's name it P1 for perforated skin 1. Now we can copy this along the whole facade. So let's select it and choose linear array. This is a number maybe to 20 from here to here, something like this. Can delete the extra. Switch to architect mode to see how it looks. Looks good. Of course, we can start adjusting the proportions, maybe scaling it a little bit. Have something like this, or maybe scaling it like this or like this to reduce its depths and so on. Let's control it for now. But let's do this adjustment after adding all the details. So I'm going to add the curves for now. Or you know what? Press Ctrl Z. I'm going to select this one and let's lock it to. I'm going to delete all these curves. I'm going to delete this too. Maybe this one. Select the curves layer and draw maybe just a line here. Let's unlock everything. So now let's see how can we repeat. I'm going to select this one and let's go to the visibility and let's isolate everything. I'm going to move this one instead of facing movement in this direction. Let's move it here. Let's go to the top view. So double click to minimize the view and double click to maximize the top view. Open the project. So here is our facade. Choose linear array. Number 20 from this point to this point. It's closed perfectly. Select everything, hold Alt, create a copy, then rotate it. And let's place it maybe something here. Double click to minimize the view, double click to maximize the view. Need to figure out this connection. Double click to minimize the view. The first thing, I'm going to delete all the extra parts. Maybe for the corner parts, we can make it unique. So I'm going to select this one and type mirror and create a mirror here like this in 45-degree angle. Select, delete all of this. Okay. So we have this part. I'm going to select the curve layer, draw a curve, close the project, draw maybe a line here. Right click, run the command again, draw a line here, another one here, and here. So we can keep it something straight and create maybe a loft between these parts. But let's make it straight sections. The skin layer. You have something. Okay, yeah, delete this one. Make sure the lines are placed in these vertices. Tab loft. Here, 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 and here. Yeah, this is not bad. Okay, so we have our corner. Now I'm going to select this one and type mirror here, seeing a mirror here. Now for the remaining parts in here, I'm going to use linear array, set the number maybe 10 from here to here. Set the number to 9 from here to here. Create another column. Select all of this, hold shift, select all these blocks and use a scale in one direction. Open the project. To view, open the project, scale from here to here. Or press Ctrl Z. Don't want to scale this one or this one. Keep the corner as it is. So I'm going to scale only these parts. Here to here. Now type mirror. Copy to yes. From here to here. Yeah. And maybe we can delete these parts. Have something like this. Press Ctrl Z. Maybe deleting this one. No, Control. Don't delete anything. Let's keep it like this for now. I'm going to delete to make some blocks unique and start maybe deleting some parts. But yeah, now we have like our base model. We can start adding details to it. And after that, we can start testing some variations, maybe by deleting some of them and start scaling this one. Maybe scaling it using scale in one direction to increase the size of some of them to have more variation. But press Ctrl Z for now. Okay, now let's start adding more details to the facade. So I think I'll start by adding the structure. So double click to select the layer of the structure and double click on one of the block and let's isolate it. So I will start by using insert face edge command. So selected and select one of the faces, right click and set the distance, the exit distance to 0.05 maybe, press enter. Yes, this looks reasonable. So right click to bring the command again, select another face, right click and right click. So we keep using the right click to bring the command again and right click instead of enter. So let's repeat it along all the faces. Okay, so now I'm going to use extract face. So I'm going to extract this one, set copy to no. So extract all these faces. Now select. So for this part, I think I'm going to join them. You know what? No, let's keep them as it is in case we wanted to delete some of these parts later on when we are going to test variation. I'm going to place all of this in the substructure layer and I'm going to now type offset surface. Let's offset them to the inside. So flip all and let's set the distance to 0.05 and press enter or right click. So we have our structure. So yeah, we will face some kind of problems here. Let's press Ctrl Z. So I think it's better to join all of them. So hold shift, select all of this. And press Ctrl J to join all of them. Or you can join them from here. Now select this and type offset surface. Flip all, set the distance 0.05 and right click. So we have like, okay, so there is some kind of a problem here. So press Ctrl Z. So instead of 0.05, I think I'm going to offset surface, flip all. Let's set the distance 0.04 maybe. Ctrl Z again. Select surface, offset surface, flip all. Let's set it 0.03 maybe. So enter. Yeah, I think this will work. This looks fine. Okay, so it remains a substructure connecting this structure to the building, to the beams or concrete structure, beam or the slabs of this building. So might have something like skin here. Let's stay in the substructure layer. But you know what? I think I need to do some adjustments. So I'm going to the front view, switch to the shaded view, open project, and I'm going to draw maybe a line here. 8, it opens also. I think I'm going to use this line to make this part. I want this part to be straight. And the same thing to this part too. Let's black, switch to the wireframe. So yeah, let's keep this curve here. Let's create another copy. Press tab to fix the move in this direction, and place this one here. Select this one, hold shift to select this one, double click, and move using this line to cut. So yeah, we cut this part and this part too. And this looks good now. Let's change the color again, maybe to some kind of dark gray. Yeah, this looks okay. This one. Now let's use our remaining structure, and I'm going to draw a line here. Press tab to fix the movement in this direction and draw something like this. And maybe another line here. Press tab to fix the movement in this direction. And I'm going to offset curve. Just offset. Set the distance to 0.025 and set it to post direction 0.025, and the cap make it flat 0.025. Yeah, this looks okay. Let's extrude it down to a value of 0.052. Copy here. Now I think I will just create a few copies. So create another copy here. Yeah, this one's touching the structure. Select it and then create a mirror. Some kind of mirror here. For this one and this one, a copy vertical. And let's move it, copy vertical. And let's move it something. Copy vertical. Let's move it vertically here. Yeah, this substructure looks good. Save the remaining object and save. Architect mode. Of course, there is some, so we can make this part unique, but let's do it. We will finalize all the remaining details. So we have our substructure and remains the perforated skin texture and the material, and maybe removing, I think double click, let's remove this part from now. Let's remove, isolate everything. I think I'm going to hold Control Shift and delete all these parts and this too. For the substructure, let's move it vertically a little bit, maybe something like this. Double click to minimize the view, double click to maximize the view. Let's draw a line here. Move this line down a little bit, and let's use this line to trim. So to trim, right click and let's trim this surface. Oh, close it. I think we need to move it up a little bit more. Up a little bit more. Time split. This one, right click, select an object, right click. Now select all these parts. Select this one and type cap. And double shift select these two structures. Let's use the remaining object. So a concrete structure. Oh yeah, for this one, I think we might need to move the whole facade down a little bit, but it's okay anyway. You know what, for this one, I can hold Control Shift and only delete this part. I think now this facade look way better. I'm going to select everything and let's move it down by a value of maybe 0.1 to make sure all these substructure are touching the concrete. And this looks way better. Now remains adjusting the texture. Okay, so for the texture, there are two methods. The first one is to download a perforated skin texture from the internet. You can search for perforated skin texture seamless. You can use maybe this one from SketchUp Club and use it as a PNG texture. or you can create your own texture. So I'm going to show you how to create your own texture. So to create it, let's go to the top view. I'm going to select the curves layer. Let's create a circle with the radius of 0.5. Now select the circle and go to the rectangular array. This is the number of x10. Type 10, press enter, and in the y10 to type 10 and press enter, and in z set 1 press enter. And now for the spacing, let's set it maybe 2. Press enter by 2 and click, and right click to finish the command. Now I want to shift this shapes a little bit, so hold shift and select these circles and move them to the value of 1 to have something like this. Now I want to make sure that this is the seamless texture, so I'm going to type bounding box. Now if I select this and create a copy, so from here to here, you will find it as seamless. And if I came here and create a copy from here to here, now this is not seamless, so press Ctrl Z. I think we need to delete these circles and move this up by a value of 1. Have something like this. Now if I came here, the copy here, here maybe. So yeah, this looks seamless. And if we Ctrl Z, can create a copy maybe here. Fit nicely, and the spacing are equal. So yeah, this is seamless. So now I can print this. So press Ctrl P to print it, and set window. It's something maybe like this. Right click, and for the color, for the output color, let's set it black and white. And for the line weight, for the page, just set it maybe A4 would be fine. And here in the line weight, default line weight, you can set it to hairline is very small, so let's set it to the 0.13. Okay, and now all the settings looks okay. So let's print it. Let's print it anywhere. We can open Photoshop, and here is our texture. We can just drag and drop it to open it, and press OK. Now I'm going to use the magic tool to create a fill here. So I'm going to select this area. Let's come here and create a solid color. Set the color to anything, doesn't matter right now. Now hold Control and click on this mask, so we can create a selection on it and use this to crop it. So let's crop, press enter. Now we can hide this one. Might face some kind of problems here, these parts especially. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to make it seamless. So to make sure it's seamless, I think I'm going to crop it here in the center. So drag and drop a reference plane here at the center of this one, and another one here at the center of this one. Maybe something like this. And same thing here. Another one here at the center also. Now let's crop it something like this. Also, to make sure it's seamless, we can maybe duplicate it, convert into smart object. Let's come into the filter, others, offset, and start shifting it. What? You know what? Yeah, hide this layer. Let's come again, others, filter, offset, and start shifting it. As long as there is no lines appear at the middle or something, this means it is perfectly seamless. Yeah, it looks perfectly seamless. So I'm going to delete this one, and for this one, I'm going to change the color, maybe giving it some kind of yellow color, maybe something like this, maybe darkly. You know what? We can adjust the color in Rhino, so let's just make it any kind of gray color, something like this. And hold Control Alt S to save it. Control Alt S. Now let's save it as PNG. Make sure to save it as PNG. Let's type skin 1. So now double click to minimize the view, and double click to maximize the view. Switch to the render mode. Double click to edit this one. Or you know what? Instead of, let's apply the layer using. So double click. Let's just start placing this. Hold shift to select all these faces, and place them in the skin layer. Okay, perfect. They are in the skin layer. And for this, no, for this one, let's select all these blocks. So type SEL, select blocks instance. I select all of these blocks, and let's place them in the perforated skin layer. So if I hide this one, yeah, only the perforated part is affected. So now let's apply texture by layers. So let's come here and create a new custom. Let's name it skin. 1. Let's give it texture. Here's our texture. Let's come here, click on it again, set it box style, in the size set maybe 2, no, maybe 1, skip it 1, and press OK. Switch to the render mode. The opening are too large, so click on it again, click here, set this maybe to size 0.5, 0.2, press enter, 0.5, maybe 0.5 doesn't look bad by the way, maybe 0.4 is better. Yeah, press OK. Okay, yeah, this looks cool. Now let's give it a color. So click here and let's set this to maybe 0. And in the color, let's give it whatever the color we want. Maybe some kind of orange or yellow color, maybe something like this. I'm going to copy the number of these colors, select this and Ctrl C, and give it maybe some glossiness and some reflection. Copy this number, Ctrl C, OK. Let's get to the structure and let's give it the same color. So let's name substructure. Substructure 1. Click here will be okay. So okay, now let's start creating the curtain wall. So I'm going to switch to the shaded view, and I'm going to hide the perforated skin. Also don't need any of these curves, so unlock and type SLCRV and press Ctrl H to hide all of them. Also hide this one, hide the mass. So I'm going to the solid wall layer. So I'm going to select the solid wall layer, and I'm going to draw just a rectangle here, something like this. Let's lock also the floor layer, so we don't select it by mistake. Now type offset, and let's make the wall with a thickness of 0.25. Select this and create a surface, delete the curve, and extrude this one with a value of 3.1, because the floor to floor height is 3.5 and the slab thickness is 0.4, so the remaining is going to be 3.1. So let's now, not all of it is going to be a solid wall, so there are going to be parts with a curtain wall. So I'm going to create, you know what, there are a lot of methods to create an opening. We can create a boxes and create some Boolean difference, or you can use the push pull command. So I'm going to just extract duplicate edge. So let's duplicate this edge. Let's move this with a value of maybe 4 meters or maybe 2. Now select it again and create a copy and move it here with a value of maybe 15, maybe 16 meters. Now select this, right click to bring the copy command again and create a copy here with a value of 4 meters. Select this, right click to bring the copy command again and get a value here with a value of 16 again. Now let's use a push command. Let's push this, right click, and let's push it like this. Right click to bring the command again, and let's push this like this. Now let's create the curtain wall here. So for the glass, so double click to select the mullion layer, and let's create a 3-point box here with a value of 0.2 and 0.15 or maybe 0.1 and a height like this. Select it, create a copy, press F8 to open the ortho, and the distance is going to be maybe 1.5, 1.5. Now select the glass layer, type loft, from this curve to this curve, right click, press OK, type offset surface, choose outside, the value of 0.02, input, yeah, press enter. Now select it, switch to the ghost view, select it, move it, snap to the midpoint, press tab to fix the movement in this direction, and snap here to the midpoint. Now I need to create some transom. So select the mullion layer again, tab loft again, select this edge, right click, have this surface, extrude this surface with a value of 0.01 or 0.1 cm, and move it up with a value of 2.4. Selected, copy, vertical, get a copy here, right click to bring the command again, right click to bring the copy command again, press V for vertical and create a copy here. Now type Boolean difference, select this one, right click, select this one, right click. So we have our curtain wall. So I'm going to delete this, delete this one, switch to the wireframe mode, select all of this, so let me view again, choose define block, and let's keep here, and let's see one, it's okay. So select this block and create a linear array with a value of maybe 9, right click, from here to here. And yeah, we need another one, another copy, here to here. By the way, we don't need this curve, so double click and delete this curve. And double click, select this one, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and place it something like this. Now we can extend this wall a little bit. So you use scale in one direction and scale it from here to here. Delete this one. Now let's go to the top view. So double click to minimize the view and double click to maximize the view. I'm going to create some opening. So open the project. I'm going to draw maybe a line here and create a copy here with a spacing of maybe 14 and type split or trim. Use this as a cutting object and trim this wall. Select this one and this one by holding shift and type cap, close them, move this something like this and type trim. Trim this one, delete this, take this one and type cap. Okay, so let's stay in the top view. So let's but make sure to open the project. So I'm going to select all of this, a copy from here to here, right click, use the command, hold Control Shift and move this here. Now let's draw a line here, right click to bring the command again and draw another line here, right click to bring the command again, draw a line here, right click to bring the command again and draw a line here, type trim, select all of this, trim this one and this one. Now select all of this and type cap to close it. Select this curtain wall and this curtain wall, with a copy. Press tab to make some movement in this direction and copy it here. Now select all of this, hold Alt and move using the combo to create a copy and rotate it, and then move it something in here. And click this one. Now hold Control Shift, this and I move and create a copy like this. Select all of this, create a copy. Press tab to fix a movement in this direction and place it in here. Hold the Control Shift, select this. Press tab to fix a movement in this direction and place it here. Here we go, have our curtain wall. I'm going to select all of this and convert it into a block. Let's name it C2 and select it, create a copy, vertical, copy here, close the project, create a copy here and here, and select the solid wall layer and create a wall here for the parapet. Offset with the curve, have offset 0.25, select this curve, hold shift, and this one and this one. Extrude this by a value of maybe 1 meter. Now let's adjust the material. So for the glass, I'm going to give it custom material. Let's name it glass 1. Give it a turquoise color. Press OK. Transparency 50%. Closeness 10. Reflection 10. Press OK. Yeah, I think maybe a little bit darker, maybe something like this. Yeah, this looks better. And also increase the reflection 20. And for the mullion, let's get a new custom mullions 1. Let's give it a dark gray color and closeness 500, reflection 5. And press OK. And there's a perforated skin. Yeah, this looks okay. For the floor, I'm going to give it just a white paint, custom. Let's name it white paint 1. And give it just a white color. And I'm going to apply the same material for the solid wall. And press OK. Okay, now that we finished the base model, I want to show you how to test some variations. So yeah, as you can see, we have our base model and looks okay. But let's switch to shader view and I'm going to copy everything. So select everything, hold Alt and move using the gimbal. And I'm going to visibility and I'm going to isolate. So, I want to select the mask too. Oh, not the mask, the floor. So I'm going to unlock the floor, select everything, hold Alt and move using the gimbal to get a copy. And let's go to the visibility and isolate. So I only want to test the variation for the perforated skin. So let's come here, right click and select object, and let's go to the visibility and isolate. So we can only select these objects. So the first thing I want to do is testing variation, but without exploding the blocks. And so I'm going to start scaling using scale in one direction to create some kind of size variation. So let's select like let's do this adjustment in the top view, but while keep this be opened. So I'm going to open the project. Let's come here to top view and select maybe starting from the middle. Select few blocks and let's choose scale in one direction and let's scale it from here and come here and start maybe moving it a little bit like this. Now selecting these parts and scale it. Right click to bring the scale command again and scale it something like this. Here's the side of this part, switch to render view. So we have some part that's very dense and another one that's very large. You know what? I want it to decrease gradually. So let's press Ctrl Z. So I'm going to select this one and hold Alt to create a copy. And I'm going to create maybe like 3 sides. So hold Alt, create a copy, maybe 4 sides. So for the first one, and let's create a bounding box. So type bounding box. I'll click bring the command again. I'll click bring the command again. I'll click the command again. So for the first one, I want the width to be, you scale in one direction, close the project, make the width. So right now it's around 2 meters, make it 1 meter. And for the second one, keep it as it is. And for the third one, I'm going to make it 3 meters. And for the fourth one, I'm going to make it 4 meters. Using scale in one direction. So delete the bounding box for now. I'm going to repeat this maybe like maybe 4 times. Repeat everyone around 4 times. Or maybe no, for maybe this one I'm going to repeat it 6 times since it is just it's a little bit smaller. Check something. Yeah, so let's go to the top view. When creating the array, I'm going to open the project. We are going to use this point as a reference, this one and this one. So select this, choose linear array, set the number to 6, right click to bring the command again from here to here. And for this one, I'm going to repeat it maybe 3 times. Here to here. So it is almost the same length. And for this one, I'm going to repeat it only 2. So just create a copy from here to here. And for this one, I'm going to repeat it also 2. And let's place all of them beside each other. So this one here. And maybe this one here. Right click to bring the move command again and place this one here. I want to see how it will look. It actually looks good. Not bad. Okay, so I think I'm going to also create a mirror. So type mirror, let's go to top view, snap here this point and create a mirror like this. Now we want to fit it here, starting from here. Delete this one, delete all of this. So I think I'm going to scale everything again. So press Ctrl G to make it a group, select it and isolate it. And let's place it here, something like this. Like this, you scale in one direction from here to here and start moving it. Click to bring the command again and scale it. Something like this. So yeah, this looks way more dynamic. And maybe you can repeat the same technique in here, but you get the idea. So this is like the first method for testing variation. I'm going to unlock everything and open the visibility. I'm going to select this again and create another copy here. Let's isolate everything. Let's hide the curves too. So I'm going to right click and select the perforated skin object from the layer, and let's isolate it. So the second method is excluding the blocks and start using maybe edge edit. So I'm going to select all of these blocks, type SEL block, select block instance, and exclude it. So now all of these are just surfaces and poly surfaces and extrusions. We don't need curves, by the way, so I'm going to type SEL CRV and delete all these curves. So we can now select this and let's go to the transform, edge edit, set it to bounding box, set C plane, and I think we might need to increase the number of points in X and the number of points in Y. So for the number of points in X, let's set it to maybe 6, and for the number of points in, oh, not the degree, keep it 3. Or maybe also the degree, let's set the degree to 1. So we don't have curve, it's going to be some kind of straight lines. So for the degree, set it to 1. And for the number of point in X, set it to maybe 8. And for the number of point in Y, also 8. And in Z, keep it as 4. So right click. So we have these control points. We can now select maybe like these control points, all of this. Double click to move the gumball, close the project, and place it something here. Start scaling it to have something like this. It will take a little bit to compute. As you can see, press Ctrl Z. I think I will move only like maybe just these lines, select these lines, scale it a little bit to have something like this. And let's select all of this, double click to move the gumball, place it here, start scaling it to have something like this. Select all of this, double click to move the gimbal, double click to move the gimbal, place it here, and scale this a little bit to something like this. Switch to the maybe render view to see how it will look. It's starting to look more dynamic, way more dynamic. Maybe moving this a little bit. So double click to move the gimbal here. Start scaling this a little bit. Of course, for the structure part, we will need to readjust it, but it's fine. We just need to move maybe this members or recreate it. But in the conceptual design phase, these things are not a big deal. Just want to get like the basic form that we want. So let's go to top view. We can also like moving these parts also. So I can come here and maybe moving this, something like this. Let's see how it will look. Yeah, we have more curvature. So switch to the render view. But let's move it a little bit more. Something maybe like this. As this looks stronger and better. And we can start maybe if we have some kind of entrance here or something, we can move all of this to emphasize this entrance. But maybe starting from here, like moving this a little bit up, something like this. Like this, select all of this, shift select all of this, and move this also up a little bit. You know, it was better when it was straight. Let's control Z. But it is the idea. So we can like maybe keep making more adjustment, maybe moving this part out like this a little bit. Not that much. Can we also emphasize the corners a little bit? Maybe came here, double click to move the gimbal, all of this, double click to move the gimbal, and start maybe scaling it a little bit. How this will look. You know what, control Z. Anyway, so you get the idea. We can like test tons of variations using these techniques and create like very complex forms literally in no time. I will just keep finding the form and creating more adjustment here and there. Let's select more than one point at the same time. Oh. So yeah, I think this looks good. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you later.